Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and I'm here to talk about the movie that started it all for me, Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1 to be precise, and it was directed by Sam Raimi, and man oh man, this was a great film. Let's just get straight into it. Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker was a great choice because he really had that sense of just kind of an outcast, a nerd, a kind of lonely person. He wasn't rich, he didn't have a lot of money, he was barely making ends meet with his family, and his life was just not perfect. He's trying his best, and he's still able to smile in the morning, and that's the kind of character you get from this movie. He was such a great actor to play Peter Parker when it came to just being a nerdy kid, and that's what I liked. He was very easy to connect with. I understood how he was because I wasn't a very rich person, and I think anyone could really connect to this character. He was awesome. I loved Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, so that is just number one thing I gotta compliment him on this movie. And next off, we got to talk about Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn. What a great villain. What a great actor to choose. There were so many great scenes where you could tell he's just going crazy with this character, and he loved it. Especially the scene where he's looking at the mirror and he's talking to himself. He's having a whole scene simply looking at himself in the mirror and talking to himself. And we believed it. You could see how he's just going crazy and how he's trying to deal with this. How he's trying to deal with the goblin beginning to grow inside him. It was really well done, and I really enjoyed it. And all the actors in this movie did a great job. I loved them all. The acting in this movie was superb, and it was very, very believable, I have to say. And this movie is also an origin story of our character. It's an origin story of Spider-Man, and it does a great job because at the time it felt very fresh. We didn't hear this story multiple times. It was fresh to see it. It was so well done. The amount of emotion the amount of emotion in that scene was also thanks to Danny Elfman's composing of the music in this movie. This was also one of the very first films where I heard the original soundtrack. The orchestrated music in this movie was something that caught my ear very easily. And I loved it. It really made the emotions happen. Like when Spider-Man would swing around the city, Danny Elfman's scores were absolutely amazing. You believed it. You believed you were up there with him. And during the fight scenes, the music that he had playing was fantastic. It was very, very well done. I have to say, I loved that. And also, this movie had a great amount of CGI and practical effects. This movie was not filled to the brim with CGI because at the time when we first figured out CGI, movies were using it everywhere. They were putting it in every scene in their movie, but this movie only used it when it felt it was truly necessary, and I applaud that. It could have gone the route where it was like everything looks like CGI and everything just kind of looks like a balloon person, but they didn't. They decided to choose to make it look practical, realistic, and it was great. I love that. There was also a lot of great comedy in this film. There were a lot of funny moments where Peter Parker first gets his powers and he's trying to learn how to swing and then just how to summon his web. That scene was amazing. I crack up still till this day watching that. Just seeing him trying to desperately figure out how to swing and stuff like that and how to make his webs come out. Absolutely awesome. And the choreography in this movie for the fights were also really good. The fights were believable. It was great, and I just love the fighting in this movie. They really portrayed the fighting style of Spider-Man really great in this film. But also, the story in this movie made sense. It wasn't packed with too many villains. It wasn't packed with too many side stories. This movie did what a first movie should do, and that is be a solid film. Not trying to start up a universe. Not trying to start up all kinds of side stories so you can make money. It did the number one important thing, and that is to be a great film. A lot of movies today are missing that because they see Marvel being so successful in the MCU. But guys, you got to remember, the MCU franchise also has great films. Is each one a A+? No, but they still focus on making every movie good, not just trying to set up a universe. They make sure their films are good, and that's what this movie did. And the only real problem I have with this movie, I have an issue with the Brooklyn Bridge scene, or the Queensboro Bridge scene. I forgot what bridge they did it on in this movie. But they switched up, instead of it being Gwen Stacy on the bridge and he saves her or kills her when he, pulls her and breaks her neck, they changed that and made it Mary Jane, which was okay, but for a scene like that was from the comic book with Gwen Stacy, that really made the character who he was. It was a very tragic and emotional moment. So I really wish they would have just kind of figured out something else to do with Mary Jane. But I can forgive that because the bridge scene was very good. It was a great fight with Green Goblin, him trying to save the kids, and then trying to save Mary Jane at the same time. And Kirsten Dunst's performance was really well done in this movie as well. She did a great job playing Mary Jane. She wasn't just a cool girl, but she could also play the emotional and someone you truly believe cared about Peter Parker. But also, one of the next biggest things I loved about this film was the ending fight scene between Norman Osborn and Peter Parker. What a great scene. I loved it. And you know why I loved it? Because it was a great amount. Most of that scene was practical effects. It was them just getting rough, down and dirty, punching, kicks, getting thrown around. It was fantastic. It felt real. And that is because of Sam Raimi's past with the Evil Dead series, using a lot of practical effects, making the scene feel very creepy and dreary. But then, right when it feels like all the hope's gone, Peter Parker is able to just come back. Once he mentions Mary Jane and how he's going to kill her, he's able to sit there and go, no, screw you, I'm going to win. And that scene was just so memorable. I still look at that scene as one of my favorite superhero fights of all time, because it was practical effects, it had all the emotion a fight should have, and it was just filmed so well. And then the ending of this movie was very good. It had a very somber tone to it. It wasn't a super happy ending. It wasn't, oh, he gets the girl and everything. It left you going, okay, I understand the character. I understand why he did what he did. I understand why he didn't choose to be with Mary Jane right away. I understand why he's doing this. He's walking away, and then you have Danny Elfman's score coming on, and you just see Spider-Man start swinging around, going nuts, and he lands, and then the movie ends. This was a great film, guys. This was the movie that started it for me. This was the movie that made me love movies even more, because when this movie came out, I was just a kid. I loved it. I sat there, I was like, I get to see my favorite superhero on the big screen done right. And guys, if you have not seen this movie, please go out and check out the very first Spider-Man movie, because it definitely gets an A from me. Spider-Man gets an A. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I didn't want to rant too much on how much I just love this movie, because it was the very first big movie for me that I saw Spider-Man, and so I could go on forever, but I just tried to contain the review. I hope you enjoyed it. My next movie review is going to be Logan. I just got the tickets for the 7 o'clock showing, so I'm very excited to go see Logan and give you guys that review when it comes out. The next game review that's going to come out is Horizon Zero Dawn, so I'm going to be playing that for a while, making sure I get a review out for you guys. And then after that, I'm going to do Spider-Man 2 for you guys, which is also, I almost like that movie, maybe a little bit better than the first one, but I'm not going to give anything away. But again, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.